This woman used her own toddlers as a human shield so she could go cheat in a dumpy motel. And her husband, he didn't just divorce her, he burnt her entire world down. This is Mark, and this is his wife, Marky. It's the early 2000s. They have 2 kids, ages 4 and 6. For a long time, Mark thought they were the perfect family. Until the kids started talking. They mentioned they were staying at Grandma's house 2 or 3 times a week. Now, Grandma lives 90 minutes away. Doing that trip every once in a while is normal, but 3 times a week? That was basically every single day Marky wasn't at her part-time job. Mark asks her about it, and Marky denies it, but she was never a good liar. So Mark starts tracking her mileage. It's simple, it's low-tech, and sure enough, she's driving an extra 400 miles every single week. Now Mark knows for a fact that some shit is going on. Then, Marky makes a fatal mistake. She leaves a sticky note next to the computer with her AOL password on it. Mark logs in and hits the mother load. He finds emails between Marky and her college best friend talking about Bob, Marky's high school ex-boyfriend. They're detailing their motel hookups, and Marky is even talking shit about Bob's wife for getting fat after having kids. Mark doesn't say a word. He just prints every email and stashes the evidence. Mark has the emails, but he wants this to be ironclad in court. He calls an old friend on the force who points him to Ron, an ex-cop turned private investigator. Now it's time for professional surveillance. Ron follows her and catches the whole routine. Marky drops the kids at her parents', meets Bob for lunch, and they head to a dumpy motel for a few hours. By the time she picks up the kids and heads home, Ron has the photos, the dates, and the locations. Mark hires a divorce lawyer, but he's got one more move. He has Ron dig into Bob. It turns out Bob is a VP of sales at a company owned by his own father-in-law. Bad move, Bob. On the same day Mark has Marky served with divorce papers at her work, he sends Ron to see Bob's wife. He shows her every photo, every email, every motel receipt. It's game over, and that's when the world starts burning. Bob's wife cleans out their joint account and takes the kids. Her dad fires Bob immediately. Since the parents own their house, Bob is evicted that same day. When Bob tries to go back and argue, his wife's brother breaks Bob's nose. Bob ends up with criminal charges and jail time. Today, Bob has disappeared. Mark's kids are grown, and he hasn't spoken to Marky in years. He doesn't hate her, he just doesn't care.